Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, the video today is on this 2000, no 2000, it's a 2000 BMW 46, is the 323i, and 336, and is the cabriolet. Now, I've just literally got home from testing the Volvo, is there now waiting to be collected. But on that video, if you have watched that video already, you probably have seen that I mentioned that I was not to record nothing on this car. The car came here for a couple of things. One of the things was to install a reverse camera. The guy wanted to put one of those cameras that you just screw into the number plate or something like that. The guy really looks after the car, and I just said to him, look, that's going to look a little bit bad. I said, why you don't do something that's going to look a little bit more OEM? And the guy literally just said, look, do it as if it is for you, which is really good when people gives you that sort of freedom. Gives you that freedom to do things. So that's the way I did it. I'll put some pictures here so you guys can see. So that's how I did it. I've used one of those cameras that goes onto the number plate light. It's not a straight fit. I had to modify the case for the camera. I have no pictures for that. I had to modify the case for the camera, and I had to trim a tiny bit the hole where the actual light goes, where the camera goes, in order to fit everything properly. Then obviously running all the cables through the car up to the front, do all the connections onto the radio, and as you can see, is working nicely, really nice. But that was not to make into a video anyway. I don't record that kind of stuff. Well, I did once, I think, for Reno traffic. I think I did. Anyway, but I usually don't record that sort of stuff. But anyway, another issue with the car, which I was not to record, to be fair with you, but I decided to do it in the meantime. And because I was not to record it, I'm already kind of halfway through the diagnostics, and then so that's the reason why I'm stopping now and I'm taking you through. So I'm not going to be able to show you just yet what the car does, but once I've showed you, once I show you what I think the problem is, I can then show you what the car was doing. But basically, guys, what the car was doing was the car would not start with the airflow meter connected. Okay, when warm, a lot of the times it would start and it would run. It would run a little bit poorly, to be honest with you, but it would run. But cold, it would not start. I mean, it does start, but it shuts down. It shuts down itself. So it starts, revs for about 5 seconds, and then it drops to zero. It just shuts down, and that's why it does. If you disconnect the airflow meter, it runs fine. It runs absolutely fine. It starts fine, and it runs okay. Which, to me, initially, I thought, okay, it's going to be a bad airflow meter. There's no other way. Well, there's no other way. There's other ways the car can behave like that. But the first thing that came to my mind was airflow meter. So I've checked the airflow meter. I've checked the wires from the airflow meter to the ECU. All checked out good. Then I checked voltage coming out from the airflow meter and all that good stuff. I actually had ISTA plugged in, because ISTA tells you exactly where the values should be, and the values were pretty much where they should be. However, some values were not exactly where they should, especially on the oxygen sensor. I think I did a test for the oxygen sensors. They were a little bit out. For the airflow meter, they were not exactly where they should be. So, at that point, I can establish that the airflow meter was probably okay, and my problem would be something else. And what I'm going to show you now is exactly what I think the problem is, and the test I'm doing to just confirm that the problem is actually what I think it is. A lot of think it is, and oh my god. Let's go now have a look at the front of the car, and I will show you exactly what I mean. Okay, and I think the setup gives away straight away what I think the problem is. So my homemade smoke tester, I blocked the airflow meter, as you can see. It's kind of a bottle, and I just put tape around, and I've sealed it all the way around. Okay, I took the vacuum pipe from the booster, I believe for the brake booster, and I put my smoke tester in there. and now it's going to be noisy. So everything is tied up, guys. Everything is the way the car came. The only thing I've done was unclip the airflow meter and pull it out to the side like this, and took that off. So now it's going to be a little bit noisy because I'm going to turn the compressor on, but nevertheless, I'm going to try to take you through as we go along. So I'm going to turn it on. Everything is set up already, guys, because I already did a test. So I think you guys can guess, but I already did a test. So we're going to start it up. Okay, and after testing and testing and testing, it looks like I was wrong. I was convinced that this would be a air leak somewhere, and it would have to be a quite big air leak for the car to not even start. But it looks like there's no leaks, unless they are really under pressure. But if that was the case, the car is not even turbocharged or anything like that, and is on the intake, which means if there was a leak in there, I've set up the compressor to 2 bars. That would open any cracks, I think. Any leaks in there would show at 2 bars. So yeah, there's no leaks. I couldn't find anything. So it's going to be a little bit more tricky than I initially thought these would be. Right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put everything the way it should. I'm just going to quickly put the airflow meter back in place, so I can then actually show you what the car actually does. Okay, all back in place. Let me show you then what the car actually does. Oh dear me. And what it does is the following. That's it. That's what it does. I can hear the air pump going on as well. It just continues to do this. If I unplug the airflow meter, it starts straight away. Okay, let's gonna unplug this. That's how the car's been running for the last God knows how long. I'll show you what it does now. That's it, and it runs absolutely normal, no problems at all. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off again. I don't want it to warm up because apparently when it warms up it kind of takes the airflow meter connected, so it's going to connect it again. Can I smell unburned fuel? Maybe. So airflow meter connected. That's it. That's all it does. Right, so it looks like we have something a little bit more complicated than I initially thought. So let me think how I'm going to proceed, and I guess I will let you know. Okay, so I go down to a couple things. So I got this the valve here, which is a little bit dirty, but not too bad. Seals are okay, and it's sealing properly. The idler, which is the idle valve, whatever that is called, it's been someone here before me because it's been cleaned already, but we're gonna give it another clean. That said, it's moving freely. You can hear it. Hold on, let me unplug this thing so you can hear it. It's moving freely, so it's not blocked or anything like that or seized. Everything else looks okay. I can't really see, well, we haven't seen any vacuum leaks, so there's definitely no leak in that sense. So I'm not too worried with that. As I came to the other side, one of the things I've noticed is the little pipe that runs here for the air, what is called, auxiliary air pump. that goes inside there, and there's a vacuum pipe that goes from here to that pipe that runs across here, and this is definitely purged away. Look at that, and it is definitely leaking. I already tried it. Look at that. So we're going to replace this. We are going to put everything back on because I can't really see nothing wrong here, and there's really nothing else to check other than the throttle body. And there's another valve underneath there which I'm not sure what that one is, but that said, it looks alright to me. I mean, the pipes are fine, there's nothing cracked. If it was a vacuum leak or if it was a leak in there, we would have seen that leak 100%. Everything looks plugged in underneath, so I'm not to worry with that as well. I don't really want to have to take this intake because it is literally a pain in the ass by the looks of it to remove, or maybe not. Shall I take this intake out and have a proper look? I don't know. What should I do, guys? Shall I take it off? But because I haven't seen a leak on the smoke machine, I'm not too keen to do it. I don't think it's going to be related to that. Could it been that? Could it been this? I might have my doubts. 100% sure. Right, let me think. Let me see what I'm gonna do. Okay, so the car is now running with the airflow meter connected. One thing that if I do this, so this to me also shows that if there was an air leak, air getting into the engine from elsewhere, the car wouldn't die so quick because it would suck air from elsewhere. Now, I managed to actually start the car from cold with the airflow meter connected. I had to clear the codes. I cleared adaptations on the car as well. That's another thing that I've done, and the car started. But a funny thing is, when I came to live data, something is really strange because my airflow meter is reading 0, and that's a little bit strange. It does move if I accelerate, which I'm going to show you. But what it does is, so you've seen you have readings in there, yeah? Okay? But what it does is, when I try to accelerate, full throttle and the car dies. Okay? So definitely this airflow meter, by the looks of it, is messing the mixture and is messing how the engine runs. Let me see if it starts. Yeah, it starts and it idles okay. So when I try to accelerate, I wanted to try to show you both things. Look. And it's dead. Okay. So let me unplug the airflow sensor. Let me unplug the airflow sensor now, so we can see how the car behaves next. I strongly believe it's the airflow meter. Okay. Started fine, just normal. Let's gonna see now how he does. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's it. Let me just see one thing here now. I'm curious to see if there's any calculated values from the ECU. So 0. So 0 volts on the airflow sensor. No, it doesn't show nothing now. Okay, so that's actually good. I'm adamant that it's gonna be a airflow sensor, but I'm not sure. I'm sure at idling it should be reading something. On a 6-cylinder, I would guess that should be reading around, I don't know. I would expect some readings. I would say probably about, I don't know, maybe 10, 12, somewhere around there. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to do some calculations, but I think at idling I should have some readings. 0 is definitely not that. The car is using more than 0 kilograms per hour, so you should be having some readings there. And we are having 0. So am I gonna call it bad? Shall I call it a bad airflow sensor? Not really sure. Not really sure. Right, guys, this is actually, I don't know, 4 or 5 days later. I've started to work on that thing in the meantime, but I've been doing night shifts. Just left this morning, had a few hours sleep, and back onto this. But in the meantime, because obviously I was considering a bad airflow meter. So what have I done in the meantime? In the meantime, I've thought about a little bit more about the live data that we're looking at, the 0 kilograms per hour and 0 or low, what's the other one, grams per cent, I can't remember now, those two live datas in there, those two PIDs, and that just didn't make sense to me. I should have readings in there. So, and my experience tells me that, let's even suppose if this engine would use 3 grams per second. Let's just suppose. I know the live data shows you a kilograms per hour, the reading from the airflow meter. But let's gonna do just some quick calculations. Even if that, even if this car would use 3 grams per second, if you do the calculations to kilograms per hour, that's about 10 kilograms per hour, somewhere around there. This is obviously at idling, so that 0 is nearly impossible to be there. So with that in mind, I decide to do something. Now, you guys know I'm not buying parts anymore, with a couple exceptions. Now, the owner of this car is one of them. I know the guy very well. He's a good friend. Anyway, I don't need to explain you. There's a few exceptions where I will get the parts. And I'm only mentioning these. I could obviously take these out of the video. I didn't have to show you everything I'm going to show you now. But I just thought it would be interesting, again, for you guys to see how careful you need to be. So I went ahead, went on eBay, looked for a airflow meter from someone with a good feedback, as I usually do. Genuine, obviously. You don't get this new anymore. Not from eBay. And from BMW, which I literally just rang them, so I could give you that information here on the video. It costs 300, listen to this, 368 pounds for an airflow meter for this car. Wow. So, anyway, with that in mind, I went on eBay. I looked for one, which is right there. The seller has a quite good feedback, so, and a quite fair amount of feedbacks already, so he's there for some time. So I bought this airflow meter, and I've tried the airflow meter, and I get even worse than the airflow meter that's on the car. So with the airflow meter that's on the car, as you've seen, when I accelerate, I start to get some readings, but not at idling. With that airflow meter, I get literally no readings at all. So at this point, it was easier for me to conclude that that airflow meter is bad. If I would get exact the same readings, then it could possibly start to put some doubt in your head that you might have done the wrong call. If the airflow meter would behave exactly the same, you might could start, even though I wouldn't, I would be adamant that the airflow meter is still bad, but you could start to put some doubts. But because the readings on that are actually 0 all the time, doesn't matter how much I accelerate, is always 0, it was quite obvious to me to conclude that the airflow meter the guy sent me was actually bad. So, and just to quick show you, so this is the original airflow meter that came with the car. This is the one the first one on eBay that I bought. As you can see in there, there's yellow marks, and there's some yellow marks more underneath there. And I'm just going to show you that this one is even worse than the original one. So I'll show you. Try not to stop recording. Oh. Right, so let's do this. And it dies. And let me try to load the live data here again. Just a quick show you. I'm going to try to keep the engine running by touching the accelerator and see if you can see. Is that one in there? I'm not sure. I think it is. Kilos per hour, so right at the top of these two. Yeah, milligrams per stroke. So that was the other one. So I'm gonna start the engine. Oh damn it! So I accelerated, and as you've seen some readings when I actually tried to keep the engine running by accelerating, but no, I can't keep it running. Right, so I'll just show you. It does exactly the same. I already showed you, but and it dies. So at this point, guys, I thought, because I was quite convinced that this would have to be an airflow meter problem, so I decided to get in touch with the guy, and I'm just going to show you the exchange of message and how everything went. So this was my message to the guy. So I said, hold on a minute. So I said, hi, I received the MAF, but only today I had a chance to install it. Unfortunately, the MAF you sent me is not working. And no, I have not misdiagnosed the car. So I wanted to be quite assertive here, just to make sure the guy won't come back, start to try to blame me for that. You guys know what I'm trying to say here. So then I said, the original MAF, I explained a little bit, I tried to be polite and explain a little bit what was going on. So I said, the original MAF is not reading at idle, only reads above about 1500 RPMs, which obviously makes the car not to start very well. And here I misspelled. I was to say not to start very well, and at all. That was what I wanted to write, but I did it wrong. Anyway, so the idea was to say, which obviously makes the car not to run very well and at all with the MAF plugged in, and idles rough as well with it plugged in. The MAF you sent me gives me no airflow readings at all. Does not matter at what RPMs. I'm not sure how you tested it, and I'm saying this because on the description of the actually airflow meter, that one that the guy puts for sale, the guy was saying that the airflow meter was tested. So I said, I'm not sure how you tested it, but I am afraid that either it got faulty after you tested it, or the test you did was not enough to determine the condition of the part. I would like your opinion on how to proceed. I can send you pictures of everything I have stated above. Hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. And now, after sending this message, you could expect anything. I tried to be, as I said, a little bit assertive to, to kind of put forward that, pass the impression that I know what I'm doing, which I believe I do know what I'm doing. And I said to say that, the car was not misdiagnosed. It's definitely a part that you sent me that is no good, etc., etc. And I was actually surprised with the reply, which, to be honest, it should be like this in majority of the times, but sometimes you have the sellers that are not like it. So this was his reply. So I don't mind to show you the no publicity here, but this obviously is a good seller, I must say. I got no discounts on this at all. I'm still paying the same price. And by the way, these initial one, the faulty one, cost me £80 on eBay, okay? It was £80 I paid for it. So he said, hi, sorry for this. I will send you another one today. Hope we'll sort the fault out. Thank you. And then I replied, hi, that will be really appreciated. I will keep you updated, and will send you pictures anyway when I go through the car again. So as you can see there at the top, the item number, that was a 841, and you can see there, that's when I bought the airflow. Well, that's when the airflow meter auction was ending. But these messages were sending. So what day is today? Today is the 13th. Oh my God! Today is Friday, the 13th of May. So yeah, so this was the exchange of message, and basically what happened is that today I got another airflow meter, as you can see here. Oh dear me, come here. So today we got another airflow meter. So I already opened it, and just to see if it was the same thing. Right, a quick look. Actually, it was the missus that opened this. She's the one that received it. She opened it just to see what it was. I just had a quick look before I start to record. And as you can see, there's a different mark in there. You put a blue T on it. But yeah, but it's the same. Another blue T. It's the same. Siemens part numbers are in there. Well, part numbers are here. Some marks in there as well. Okay, so this is another airflow meter, the second airflow meter that the guy sent me. And obviously now we are going to change these airflow meters and see what happens. So actually I'm not going to even stop recording. Oh dear. Just go there. I'm just going to, obviously I still need to put these covers back on and etc. I did a little bit more inspections before. By the way, I think I showed you I've replaced that holes in there. Obviously the other one was completely purged away. So let's gonna take this out, take this airflow meter, 2 airflow meters there. Let's gonna put the one with the T. Oh. Okay, so let's gonna start the engine and see what we have. I'm gonna load. Well, I can't load. Well, I can, but so let's do this. Let's gonna turn ignition on so I can have the live data ignition on. Let me go to there so I can have the live data ready to show you. Okay, so that's gonna come down. There we go. Again, guys, at the top. Right, this is the moment of the truth. Let's see if this airflow meter is good. So I'm gonna start the engine. Look at the difference. Engine running. Look at that. Beautiful. Obviously, remember, this is a cold start. I haven't started the car for 2 or 3 days now. And as I said, I've been working nights, so the car is a cold start. The car is revving a little bit higher than it should, which obviously explains the kilograms per hour a little bit high. But look at that, we got readings straight away, and the car idles and holds the idling. In the end, yes, a bad airflow meter on this. Again, guys, eBay is a hit and miss. You can get caught, and special guys, if you are not 100% sure of your diagnostics, it can caught you. It could lead you that. No, but I just put another one, it does the same. Well, it doesn't mean nothing. It's coming down now, as you can see, and once the engine is warmed up, it should stable. Well, maybe a little bit more actually. 10 is going to be maybe low. I was just kind of doing a rough calculation, to be honest, guys. But yeah, that's it. I'm really pleased that I fixed this problem. This car, guys, actually is not the first time that I had it. I completely forgot I had this car on this video here, if you guys remember. And it only clicked when I was actually obviously inspecting, and I saw the new cable coming from the solenoid, and then I just thought about it. I thought, I think I have this car here, and I actually did have the car in the past, which obviously was for that Vanos solenoid. But yeah, we had the car, and the car, guys, not long after that developed this fault, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the car's been running like this for some time. I think what I'm going to do, guys, now I'm not going to show you, but off camera I'm just going to go very quickly do a reset of the adaptations, because obviously we had the car running with the old, so we're going to clear all the adaptations. That can be easily done under maintenance. Clear the adaptations. I will clear the throttle adaptation, the air flows and all that good stuff, so the car starts to calculate all of that based on this new airflow meter that is giving proper readings. So guys, just before we terminate this video, the engine is now, I've just checked, it's about 60 degrees Celsius now, so it's not up to temperature yet, but it's getting there. As you can see, the readings are now dropped to that 13 kilograms per hour, 12, and I think we'll drop a little bit more still. So I was not too far out with my 10 kilograms calculation per hour. I just want to show you that if I rev the engine now, it revs absolutely perfect. And let them come to idle. Idle's okay, no bouncing, no nothing. Is absolutely perfect. I think I might gonna go up to the end of the road just to make sure is driving fine when you're actually driving under load. And then yes, we're gonna terminate this video because it is a fix, most likely. Well, I believe, I'm confident that it is a fix, but obviously we need to put everything back on before we go. So I will see you in a bit. There we are, back home, and the car is driving absolutely perfect with no lights, no nothing. It's driving beautiful. So without further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information here you can find useful. Maybe you learned something. If you do still have any questions, any comments, you know how you do, how it works, put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.